closing the top on the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throwed and blinded my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mad dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Knowing you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even. Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no loss. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one on tap between the Houston Oilers and the New York Jets. Let's get up to the Jets' home opener in their 50th anniversary season of winning Super Bowl III. On the call, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are situated about 8 miles west of New York City at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Oilers and the New York Jets. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Jets ball club. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
On the other side of the field for our visitors here, they come into this one after a loss in the opener, and they're in for another tough test here.
And what a battle for an organization to look at your schedule and see 2 road games to start the season and not have a letdown immediately. You got to fight against that. They've got to come out ready to play.
Two clubs here, each looking to rebound from a Week 1 loss as we're underway on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by the 3rd overall selection back in 2018 from USC. It's Sam Darnold.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. Derek Wolfe popping in for the sack. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Anunwa's got it, complete. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Offensive starters time. Electric is certainly a word that comes to mind when you talk about Le'Veon Bell.
Love the way that he reshaped his body coming out of college. A bigger, thicker runner while he was at Michigan State. Lost weight, became more of a whippet in the NFL, and now no one can tackle the guy, whether he's running it or catching it.
A hit turned in over the middle. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3-and-out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Returning it is Moore. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Love shreds the tackle. The numbers for Zeke from last week. 15 carries, 78 yards.
And, partner, I thought it was a lot of fun for us to be able to sit in on their film session with the offensive line. We saw how they blocked it up last week to pretty good success, and we see what their game plan is for this week. They expect that defensive front to be someone they can move.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
A gain of 18 and a new set of downs. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. So in jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Oh, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snootful, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
On 2nd down and 4. Darnold hauled in by Anderson, left side. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They go play action here on 1st down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jeffrey Simmons able to get in there and run him down for what's going to be a loss of 15 yards all told.
2 sacks last week. Another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. from the shotgun, it's a give to Bell. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Now Darnold. Open man left side. That's the tight end, Herndon. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. And they got across the 50 last time but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they've got to feel pretty good about. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense, they affect your overall team because now your defense has to make that stand up. That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. A gain of just a yard, but it's a 1st down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
Looking to throw. Love. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. And for this offense, yellow highlighter around Trent Williams.
As well there should be. A Pro Bowl, all-pro type of a left tackle. So mobile, you could also see him as a tight end. This guy is a terrific football player.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. And the defense for New York.
Linebackers still often control defenses, and C.J. Mosley does exactly that for his. A Pro Bowler 3 of his first 4 years. Not only can he run and hit, he diagnoses plays so well, feels them out, and make sure his team is organized and in the right spot on each and every snap.
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Back to throw. Love. And he finds Seals Jones complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. His first catch, good for 14 there and a 1st down.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a 1st down.
So in jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. From the gun, Love. And And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. 23 yards, the final tally.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route, it's extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
This will be their first trip to the red zone. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. Pass caught left side by Humphries. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
We're scoreless after 1. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they go to work on a 1st and goal. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Ezekiel Elliott, his first touchdown of the new season. And his guys are able to strike for 6. Well, that drive felt like it took up an eternity. We finally have some action on the scoreboard.
Yeah, but plenty of action prior to, because that drive took up all the first quarter before we spilled into the second, and finally, points were registered.
On the other sideline, they're chomping at the bit just to get the football. Extra point up and good by Suckup, and that makes the score 7-0. So that one a long 11-play drive, and it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. Now it's Ryan Suckup on after the touchdown to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And this is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a 1st down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a 1st down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He's a 2nd-round pick, a solid 2nd-round pick. But when you're close to that 1st round, do you come in with a little chip on your shoulder?
You definitely do, because now your money's not the same. But even more than that, it's the prestige. Everyone wants to be a first-round pick, and he thought his talent demanded that. And I do know some teams in the league that had first-round grades on him.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, it all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the second quarter. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
On 2nd down, it's Elliott. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set here as they try to stop this 3rd down. He may try and run for this, but I think the ball's out. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Give him a gain of 6 on the keeper, but it still brings up 4th.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. Crowder now to return. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Here's the Jet offense now. They head out to take over. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Darnold off the play fake to Bell, letting one go deep for a Newton one. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Quincy Enunwa with the intended receiver, but now it'll be 3rd down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And he's got Enunwa. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one goes for 24 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This quarterback now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. Throwing again is Darnold. Out right here to Herndon. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Darnold hitting his tight end, Herndon, and inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 more yards there and another 1st down. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Kick is right there. It's good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? It made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
This is taken at the 3. A bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive maybe. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. And he goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
So in jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. A reminder coming up at halftime. We'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week of the regular. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Ja'Kai Polite. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Looking to throw. Love. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen. And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down, threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary, incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
That's caught over the middle by Seals-Jones. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Facing a fourth down, they come away with 18 yards and the first down conversion. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. This quarterback now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Love. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. So back-to-back incompletions. Third down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. They come out here in the I. On second down now. It's Elliott. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. This Jet defense so far standing tall. They need another stop now, third and goal. Here's Elliott. And Elliott trying to work his way forward, but it looks like he did not make it. So we've reached intermission here in a low-scoring game. 7-3 is our score. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll start up at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, and that one just before halftime with the Jaguars out on top. D.D. Westbrook, a touchdown reception. From there, we head down south to Tampa to check on the Bucs at home at Raymond James Stadium. And they trail in their ball game at halftime to the visiting Carolina Panthers. Cam Newton's thrown a touchdown pass. Finally, let's get to Silicon Valley to check on the 49ers at home at Levi Stadium. And they've got the lead over the visiting Houston Texans. Jimmy Garoppolo has thrown a touchdown pass. Meanwhile, in our game, not a lot of offense to go around. 7-3 is our score. Will we see things open up in the second half? To find out, we get it back to our guys in the booth, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
This offense so far on third down, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. And he lost the football, and it's scooped up by the Jets. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Here's the Jets offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Looking up over the middle with Herndon. And the ball is knocked out. And this one will be brought back to the 22. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And now out comes Houston. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Ready. 57, Mike 57. Hey, D-line, let's get in there.
On first down, Love. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. They were trying to go to Brown once again, but it'll be second down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Operating from the gun. Love. He's got his man on the crossing route. And it's a fumble. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. On 2nd and 7, Darnold. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 11 yards there, first down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Darnold from the gun. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. Darnold on third down. Found his target. It's Anderson. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
But we use the term pitch and catch a lot to denote an easy completion. We just saw one right there on 3rd and 3 to pick up the first down.
Why are those so tough to defend? Just because they hit so quickly?
Yeah, it's all about timing and confidence. Quarterback sees it, rips it, there you go.
That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's Darnold. Pass incomplete. The Jets on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Again, Darnold. That's going to be caught by Crowder. It's a Jets touchdown. Jamison Crowder, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jets have taken the lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever. There it results in a touchdown. No problem there on the extra point. And the lead is now 10-7. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it ends with a Jet touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Back out onto the field now. Here comes the Jet defense. They recovered the fumble last time. 3 turnovers for them in this game. They've been, that word opportunistic comes to mind, right?
Exactly right. And you know guys on defense, they say the turnovers. The offensive guys call them turnovers. We call them takeaways. We go get them. And that's exactly what they've done in this game.
The former DB making sure you know their takeaways on the defense.
Takeaways, man. They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. Call that a gain of 5 as the clock ticks inside of 2 minutes to go now in the 3rd.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves
And he loses the football a 2nd time, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Back to throw. Low. This will be caught inside the 10. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 12 more yards there and another 1st down. to throw. Love is going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. From 10 yards out. And his guys are going to retake the lead.
When you're a great route runner, it makes you that much better as a receiver because now your quarterback trusts that you're going to be where he expects, and he's able to deliver the ball on time.
Suckup for the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And the result, a Houston touchdown. Now it's Ryan Suckup on after the touchdown to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. This Jets offense heading back out there now, led by Sam Darnold. How do you break down his game so far? Just the one touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't. Not until you balance it with the error side, you know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard. Back to throw, Darnold. Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down.
Well, they had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
The Jets on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 9. A shotgun snap for Darnold. And he's going to go down again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Here's Moore on the return. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Really good effort. He does it himself, picks up 15, also picks up the first down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
A first down carry by Elliott. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. So the solid run on first, and I would imagine no real hurry to run that second down play.
No, it's all on your quarterback now. He's going to keep an eye on the play clock and bleed things down, and he's not going to let the ball be snapped until it's inside 3 seconds left on the play clock. Unless, of course, you're playing a video game, you're trying to run it up on your friend.
Nice touch. Cold-blooded, too. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge. Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
16 yards, a first down. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this fourth quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll try to run this one in. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal. So stuff from the 2, now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create, and if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, yeah.
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott. He scored on the ground and through the air. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. Extra point put through by Succop, and that makes it a 21-10 game. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And the result, a Houston touchdown. Now it's Ryan Succop on after the touchdown to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And New York set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now.
And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Robbie Anderson, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Jets have made this a one-score game.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting. But I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. Big play coming now for the Jets as they'll set up to go for two. They'll try and run it in with Bell. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a two-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. From the gun, Love. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Randy Gregory showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Operating from the gun. Love. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Robbie Anderson making his way back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big pickup of 38.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them the lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Adoree Jackson right there, step for step in coverage.
I'd love to know what he's saying in the huddle now to his guys up front because it's been a steady stream of pressure on him this entire game. That time, able to avoid the sack, but he's got to talk to his offensive line and say, guys, just a couple seconds extra, please.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 15 yards on the play, 1st down. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity.
And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Chris Herndon, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Jets have once again taken the lead.
The big fella was the recipient there for that touchdown pass, and it seems like more and more the tight end is the guy you have to worry about most in the passing game.
So now an extra point doesn't help much. They'll try to go for 2 to make the difference a field goal, and they can lead it by 3. Darnold now to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, that decision to me was all about pulling up the chart. You know, that beautiful chart that tells you when to go for 2, when to go for
chart.
1. I do love it. It helps you with your decision-making during heated times. And just look at it right here in this point of the game. Go for 2. Try and make it a field goal difference.
But now just up 1 makes the rest of this fourth quarter a little more interesting.
Yeah, they followed the chart. They just didn't get the 2 points on the board, did they?
Nope. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The situation for him offensively as follows. Down 22-21, 2:16 to play. Plenty of time here. They've got 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning as they've got it 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Brian Poole. Well, that puts a little bit of a wrinkle in their comeback bid.
Yeah, everything had turned around for them, hadn't it? I mean, things were now going their way. But you did mention it's a wrinkle in their comeback bid. It's not the death knell for them by any stretch, but now they've got some extra work to do in order to climb all the way back.
Now the Jets offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. They'll throw left side to start the drive is complete. And now a timeout taken here defensively with 2:07 remaining. So they'll also have the stop coming up at the 2-minute warning. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's Darnold. Throw complete to Herndon. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight 1-point game. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Got an open man. It's a noon one. He's got the 1st down inside the 10. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Quincy Enunwa. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the interception by the Jets D leads to a touchdown. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
They do tack on the extra point as well, and that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. Fielded about a yard deep. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and it's scooped up by the Jets. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. And they were hoping to get down there, get the score, and get this thing into overtime. How deflating.
Absolutely. I mean, let's face it, heartbreaking. They had an opportunity, had a chance, and probably were feeling pretty good about what was going on. and that was taken away from them by their own mistake.
Yeah, the opportunity squashed. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a first down carry by Bell. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Again, it's Bell. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. The Jets on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Out of the shotgun, it's Bell. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and this score will stay right where it is. Things just got interesting. They tried for the long field goal there to salt this one away. They don't get it, and now a little time for the other guys to mount a late drive.
Well, they thought their kicker would put it through the post and finish this one off. I'm sure they discussed pooch punting it and letting their defense take over. Well, the defense now has to make it stand up, but they didn't get the best field position because the ball comes back to the line of scrimmage.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stack sheet stuffer.
And the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. On 4th down, Love. They'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it would appear the Jets are going to win this football game. Darnold is going to take a knee, and that should just about do it. So it's a victory here for the New York Jets, and it took a big 4th quarter to do it, but bottom line, they got the job done.
Yeah, it is the bottom line, isn't it? A few anxious moments along the way, though, a few sweaty palms, not just for the team, but for their fans. As you mentioned, down going into the 4th quarter. How about the rally? How about the comeback? Getting it done on both sides of the ball, holding them when they needed to, and finding ways to get points when they had the football.
So for the Jets, they make amends for their Week 1 loss by winning their home opener. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for our visitors, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Houston Texans. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.